So this one, excuse me, cracked my voice there, is a bit different. This is three missions in one, and B, as you can see by the watermark, I am trying a different rendering software on this one, so hopefully won't have the issues. When I gave it the quick watch through, I didn't really see any glitches, and it rendered in about a quarter of the time that it did in the old program. So it's faster, and if it doesn't have the glitches, I'm going to have to come up with the money and get the license for this one. So we'll see going forward. But you see this one, we're starting out with one of the filler episodes. This is a campaign mission. It is not really, however, one that is advancing the plot much. This is you kind of insurrection, doing little pinpricks and counterattack type thing. Right now, you're taking out basically a mining facility to deny both the materials and the money from it to the enemy and get them for yourselves. You only have to do one of them for the mission, but me being thorough and money being required, I do all of them so I can get the bonuses here. You'll see also I'm using my assault lance. In fact, I think I'm going to put my headphones in so I don't have the background noise with this one. Give me a second to set this up.
Waiting on you, Commander.
I usually don't bother, but with this much of it and the talking in it and everything else, it's probably a good idea so it's not picking up the background noise. There we go.
Yes, Commander.
The third mission of this one is the one that is really the advancing the plot, but I figured since, as I said, I want to do all of the
What can I do for you?
necessary quote-unquote missions, I will continue doing these ones.
Weapons hot, Charlie Lance. We've got incoming battle mechs in my position.
Yeah, I always end up just working through this backwards, Charlie Bravo then Alpha. It just seems to work out that way. For some reason, anytime I try to go in any other order, it doesn't feel right going to the right, and then working counterclockwise just feels intuitive to me on this map. This one, aside from the heat issues you have, is actually a pretty easy mission. I don't think I've ever lost any of the silos. You see there, you have to destroy them before it self-destructs, and you have 5 turns. I don't think I have ever not taken out the lance that's defending any of these in the 5 turns it gives you. This is a relatively easy mission.
Orders.
At least with the firepower you have by this point in the game. Let's put it that way. I mean, if you had to do this with your starting lance, you'd be screwed. I've already taken out one. The Shadow Hawk is about to go down here, if I remember right. He doesn't take long. All 3 of these, I am using the same assault lance all the way through. The next one of these I'm going to be doing, which will be getting into the end game of the campaign. I'll be using my heavy lance for that because it's a map where I need speed more than I need brute force. So you can do it with assault mechs. I have done it with assault mechs successfully. It's just I find it easier if you can move fast as opposed to blast through things.
Double time.
I'm also, by the time I get there, will be down an assault mech because not so much in these ones, but in the regular non-campaign missions I've been running to get more XP and salvage and money. 3 missions in a row, I have lost that Zeus and had Glitch be severely injured, so I get rid of the Zeus. I'm trying to find another assault mech to take its place that I can afford, unless I happen to salvage one.
Reporting. One less vehicle.
Waiting for orders.
I don't remember why the heck this is jumping all over the place, what I was doing here. I think I might have been having some... Oh, I was having some trouble with my mouse. Now I remember. Sorry for the coughing. For some reason, all of a sudden it started up.
Myers
Hadn't been a problem all day.
Nothing to see here. Good to go. This is gonna be good. When I shoot you, you'll take it and like it.
Engaging target.
I also, at one point in another
Nicely
one of the
done,
missions,
Commander.
it's not one of the ones
The storage
recorded
silo
here,
is ours.
that
I'm
Atlas
marking an
takes
evac
such a
zone on your
beating,
map.
I end up completely
Whenever you're
stripping it
ready,
out and
you may proceed
revamping
there
its
for extraction.
weapons loadout.
Ready for
It
orders.
works quite well in these missions, but it also, when it does take a beating, it very quickly loses weapons, so I tried to change things up a bit. Go with stuff that's got a little more impact and knock down, hopefully, targets rather than just kind of pick away at them with lasers like this one does.
Copy that.
I think at some point I also swap out that LB-20X for a AC-10 to try and get a little more impact, but it doesn't work out real well. I recorded these quite a while ago. I've been having some personal life stuff kind of interfering, so that's one reason I decided to put all of them into one long video rather than try to make a couple of short ones, as I figure one sitting would be easier for me. When I'm done with this today, I have to go pick up my kids for the weekend, and we're
I
getting
hear
another
ya.
snowstorm here where I am, so this is going to be
Got
fun. Drive an hour in the wet snow, pick my kids
Yes,
up, drive an
Commander.
hour back.
Understood. Moving fast.
And as I said, I'm sorry for the annoyance of that watermark popping
Standing
up,
by.
but I really wanted
shooting,
to render
just
it
running.
with this and see if I still get the glitches like I was in the other one. So only one way to find out. Gotta do it. And once it's rendered, why re-render it in the
What can
other
I do for ya?
program? Do it twice and potentially run into
Hi,
the problems all
Commander.
over again.
Moving
So
out.
we'll just use this and deal with the watermarks.
Lock and load, Bravo Lance. We've got
I used to have this program a long time ago for making Aces High videos and stuff back in the day when I
This
did
should be
that.
good.
But the license doesn't carry over to a new computer, even if you can remember your password and still have the same email. I tried, so I have to buy a new license.
Full throttle.
Standing by. Engaging target.
Sorry, I'm not doing much talking on what's going on the screen on this one. These ones are
Damage
pretty
minimal.
straightforward. It's when I get into
Waiting
the
for orders.
third mission that's advancing the plot that is the one I'm really going to have to do some, have some things to say over what they did.
Moving out.
Because that's one of the few points in the game that
Yeah,
I've
you
got
like
some
this.
real issues with what they decided to do with for the plot of the mission. I'll have to say something about it.
Scored a critical hit.
I do remember that I don't get anything good for salvage at any of these missions. I've been having a real dry spell on salvage for a while now. Anything new I get for mechs and weapons, it's anything useful, I have to get in the market. I can't get it in salvage. I've had missions or campaigns where I almost never have to go to the store. Everything I'm getting is coming from salvage. That sure as heck is not this playthrough.
Enemy mech destroyed.
I'm about 10 million lower on
I
my
hear ya.
nest egg, if you want to call it that, up in
Got
the
it.
main game screen there of sea builds that I have saved up for when needed. I'm usually 20 to 25. I'm hovering
Knock down
around
a
10 to
vehicle.
13 now because I keep having to buy replacement parts.
Good to
Not
go.
getting anything good on salvage to
What's up,
keep stuff going. The costs of being a mercenary.
Affirmative.
Everything comes out of your pocket. You don't have a house military behind you.
Roger. Hope we can salvage that.
Ready for orders.
Yep. My computer just glitched. The audio's still going, it seems, though. Let's see what happens. Yeah, it seems to still be playing. I can hear it going, so let's hope that doesn't cause any issues with the recording here.
Good to go.
I had to get up this early this morning and spend the morning on the phone with the government over something, so I'm a little worn out this morning. Didn't sleep for crap last night and got up early, but I had this on the schedule, so let's get her done. I'm not going to get a chance this weekend to get stuff going on. Going to be doing Wreaths Across America at the local historic site where we
Commander.
put the same day all across the country on the
Roger that.
post cemeteries and stuff around the country. We put Christmas wreaths on the old graves for the veterans of independence that are there. Started at Arlington and now they do it all over the country.
Receiving you. I copy.
I don't really want to spend the day out in the cold and wet when I'm the first sergeant out there. Kind of have to. If I don't show up, I don't expect anybody
I hit
else to,
something good.
so. You gotta do what you gotta do. See, now I'm just hoping I don't have any issues with the audio recording on this being synced with the video after that computer glitch. I don't want to have to go through and do this again later because now from that glitch on it's not going to be synced up right or something. But I'm not going to stop and start over again. I'm already 15 minutes into it. This Centurion just doesn't want to die.
Target.
Finally.
Enemy mech destroyed.
Now it takes a while to get over to the other one because there's a bit of terrain in between the two. So just several turns of running now. And I'm still having mouse issues, I believe. I had to go get a new mouse pad. It wasn't
Roger.
registering right. I almost missed the old days of the rubber ball inside the mouse. You could just take it out and clean it and get it working again. These ones that are the laser on them, you don't have them on something right. Sometimes they just decide they don't want to work,
Aye, aye.
and you got to go find something else to put them on. I think
On
I
my
ended up
way.
putting a book under it or something this time to get it to stop jumping around like that.
Moving out. Moving out. Don't need to tell me twice.
As I said, the running takes a while. These two are right next to each other. The other one is
Acknowledged.
way off by itself. I think when they set
Location
this
confirmed.
map and this mission up, they expected you to do that one and then decide the other two were too far away and not bother. Maybe that's how I got into the habit of doing the other two first. I don't remember. It's been so long since I started playing this.
Aye, aye.
Got it.
Roger that.
Actually,
On my
now
way.
that I think about it, I think the evac zone is right over by that silo alpha, so I think they did expect you to just hit that one and then get out.
Roger.
On my way.
Got it.
But money, 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 money.
Receiving you.
I also, at a later time, go in and do a little modifying to that Highlander and give it an extra jump jet, I think, because as it's set up now, I think I tried to give it an extra heat sink or something instead of putting another jump jet on it, and its jump distance is shorter than its walk distance, which is kind of useless, so I do end up going in and editing that. I can't remember if it was after this one or another couple missions down the road, but the jump jets on the Highlander are quite useful, but not
Waiting
when
on
they're
you,
only
Commander.
a couple of hex distance. Kind of defeats the purpose. It's supposed to be adding mobility, and if it's, you know, you can't jump as far as you can walk, it's kind of
Good
pointless.
to go. I copy.
In really rough terrain, for getting up stuff, it's handier than trying to run all the way around it, but in combat, it's a bit annoying.
I hear ya. Don't need to tell me twice. Waiting for orders. Acknowledged.
Also, if you noticed at the start of this, there's no mission briefing for this one. I can't remember if I didn't record it, or if for some reason for this one there really isn't one. I think it gives you a bit of a, like, this is what you're going into thing, but it doesn't really give you any of the, like, cutscene type stuff. It's like these were just thrown in at the last minute to pad the thing out, and they didn't even script anything for them.
Alpha Lance, fall in on my position. I've got eyes on the enemy.
All weapons committed.
God, the
Enemy
blackjack
mech
is useless.
destroyed.
I mean,
Wait on
granted,
you,
that was an
Commander.
Atlas, but still. He only has 4 weapons on him.
Coordinates received. Got it.
Really, the only time the blackjack is any use is up against light mechs and vehicles. Medium
Good to go.
and up, it's just a target.
Move order received.
When you play the campaign with the introduction and everything else as they've got it set up, you start out with a blackjack. My advice is get rid of it as soon as you can and get something better, because it
Yes,
is a
Commander.
flippin' death trap. Boy, it's a good thing your hero character can't die, otherwise you probably wouldn't survive the first couple of missions. The blackjack, the rifleman, the Jaeger mech, they're all a similar setup where if you lose a side torso or an arm, there goes half your weapons, and the head is very exposed. They're not real heavy on armor, they're not real big on heat dispersion. They're just autocannon based for taking out vehicles and aircraft, and that's really all they're meant to do. They do get forced into fighting mechs because of the state of things in the inner sphere, but it's not really what they were designed for. God, I love the LBX-20.
Good to go. Commander. On it.
Timber.
Waiting for orders. Copy that. I copy.
Man, that should have killed him, but whatever. Also, I want to know what the heck those puddles are supposed to be, because the terrain and modifiers say that they're ice and slippery, and yet the heat conditions on this thing, what the heck
Commander?
is there that is quote-unquote frozen and slippery in these conditions?
Affirmative.
Probably unobtainium. This planet used to have blue people on it.
Orders.
Finally! Nobody doesn't like molten boron.
Mission success.
Alright. Plot starts moving, but you're not going into that mission right now. That's coming up, so I'll let this one... Oh! Not so much a glitch, but there's a bit of a resolution issue on the screen. If I have to, I'll backfill what's going on here if this doesn't fix itself. So there it goes. It's getting cleared up now. That might be an issue of how long this file is. It might have just been having some issues rendering something this big. It's an hour and 24-minute long video file. So basically, if you're not following along, what they're talking about is House Gallus here has a lead that the Madeira family, your hipster there, his family has access to intelligence that will cause the Taurian Concordat to turn their back on the Alliance and leave you alone. So, oh, what just happened? Oh, a massive explosion. Look at that. How plot convenient enough that she lived just long enough to give you your lead before she was blown to atoms. Yeah, go with a bodyguard, whatever. Yeah, you're not getting my mechs blown up trying to get your intelligence there. Sorry, buddy. Yes, he may go if he must. Yeah, I'm so sentimental. No sense drawing this out. Get on with it. And that's just not me being jaded and wanting to get through this. That's basically how I am in real life. So. Alright, now we're back on Panzer, whatever.
Command
They're
interface initiated.
attacking the relief force effort here, so you have to defend this spaceport thing. And this is the last of these filler missions before we get going again. And I'm sorry, but this is really, really dumb because those drop ships sitting there, one drop ship carries about 4 times as much firepower as that entire lance of assault mechs. we should not be having to defend them. I mean, those look like Union drop ships, and
Stop those
yeah,
transports, Commander. You're the only one
they're
who
far
can.
from the biggest in the setting, but even something that size carries about 1 metric fuck ton of firepower on it, so... Oop, I've got somebody at the door. I'm gonna let this run while I go check on that real quick. Might be a package or something. I'll be right back.
Coordinates
Enjoy
received.
watching. God, I hate when people like that show up on my door. No, I don't want to hear about why your particular interpretation of God is the correct one and everybody else is wrong. Get the hell off my property. Anyway, back to this.
Reporting heavy damage. Good to go.
Yeah, so as you see in this one, and it mentioned at the beginning, getting back into what we're talking about here, you have to keep these turrets from making it to that little command center there, or I'm sorry, APCs from getting into the command center there. Because if any of them do, you won't be able to get the turrets back online, which this is a map where they really don't help you all that much, but any help is better than none,
Enemy
so...
unit destroyed.
So right now the APCs are the priority targets, not the battle mechs.
Orders?
Boot to the head! Na na!
Vehicle down.
Waiting for orders. Acknowledged.
Gauss slug right through the center torso. If this was a novel, that would set off a nuclear explosion.
Took a hard hit there.
Light damage. Holding firm.
need a medic. Losing lots of armor.
Yeah, if you ever play any of the Mech Warrior, the ones where you're actually piloting the mech, not in command of the unit like this one, any of the drop ships in those, like in Mech Warrior 4, you've got several times, especially with some of the, what do you want to call it, the add-on packs, expansions for it, where the campaign you're in a battle where you have supporting fire from drop
Waiting
ships.
for orders.
And it's basically, if anything gets close to the dropship, it dies. You need like an entire battalion or regiment to take out a dropship. Oh, for the love of God, die already.
Commander. Roger that. Got it.
Of course, the Gauss rifle missed.
One more for the trash heap.
Standing by. Affirmative.
Keep pushing them back. Show the Taurians that we will never stop fighting.
No, we'll show the Taurians that we will never stop fighting. You're not really involved in this.
I'm taking heavy hits, Commander.
Some of the
They blow past my
motivational
armor.
speeches and little things that are come over comms that are supposed to stir you into battle like this are like one step above Zap Brannigan in Futurama. It's ridiculous. Show them we will keep fighting. Yeah. As you're sitting on the dropship watching this all happen on comms.
Warning. Armor low.
It's like that one was the Zap Brannigan from Futurama there. Oh, it was easy to defeat the killbots. I just learned that all of them had a preset kill limit, so I threw enough men at them until they all killed enough and shut down. I was able to claim victory. Show them the medal I won. That's about what the level of leadership and command in any of these games basically comes down to, especially if you're a Steiner.
All weapons are go!
I love House Steiner and the Lyric Commonwealth, but man, they've got some incompetent leadership.
Smoked them!
I mean, it's better than the Draconis Combine. You didn't stand up fast enough when I walked in the room. You need to go kill yourself now.
Engaging target.
Or the Free Worlds League, which is basically that episode of The Simpsons when
Enemy
Homer
unit
goes into
destroyed.
space, and you see him going toward the ants, and it goes, "Save the Queen! Which one's the Queen? I'm the Queen! No, you're not!" That's basically the Free Worlds League. Who's in charge? I don't know. What day is it? What flag are we flying today? The purple one. Okay, it's Merrick. Yeah, we're still under House Merrick right now.
Yes,
Well, maybe
Commander.
you are. I'm not. I didn't vote for the king. You don't vote for kings. Well, how do you,
Position
get into the whole women lying around bodies of water throwing swords at people? Even that would make more sense than how House Merrick does it.
Engaging target.
Man, I love that Gauss rifle when it connects.
Critical hit, Commander.
I mean, all of the houses do have their flaws. There's none of them that's really better than any of them. Even, House Davion, which in most of the novels is set up as the good guys, is still a bunch of self-righteous twits, so...
On it.
The Capellan Confederation is usually set up as the bad guys in any of the fiction, because they're like
Splitting fire.
one step up from space North Korea. In that they actually do have a functioning economy, unlike North Korea. But
Hostile removed.
at least they're able to make modern weapons and compete militarily for the most part, unlike, we're a glorious nation that's still using leftover equipment from the last war we fought in the 1950s.
We must push them back.
It is one of the things I do like about BattleTech, as far as the fluff in the fictional universe goes, is for the most part there are not really good guys and bad guys, depending on who is the point of view character or faction for whatever book or whatever you're going through. They're all equally good and bad. That's not to say some of the bad guys don't end up being really bad. Like the Word of Blake is like Saturday morning supervillain level bad, but
Commencing Alpha Strike. Want some more, huh?
most of the great houses and even the periphery states are just a shade of gray. They see themselves as the good guys, but everybody else has a justifiable reason somewhere along the line to consider them a bad guy. So, kind of like real life.
Armor low.
Just like in real life, I don't care what country you live in or where you're from, they have done something that you should be absolutely ashamed of in its past. Not to say you shouldn't love your country and where you're from, but you don't look at it through rose-colored glasses. Same thing with the factions in BattleTech. You can like them in the fluff and everything else, but
Receiving you.
I don't care who you are, you're not the good guys.
Engaging with target.
Alright, there's the APCs down finally. Now I can finish off the battle mechs. Oh yeah, and this Shrek PPC carrier.
Armor blow through. Internal damage.
That's one thing I wish was in this game, is as a merc unit for this time period, you'd actually be more likely to be fielding large numbers, at least of a merc unit on the periphery. More likely to be fielding large numbers of heavy combat vehicles than you are a Lance and Assault mechs, but whatever. No one wants to do that. Everybody wants to do the big stompy robots. However, I would love to see a air combat game set in this universe, because that's something you almost never see in these games, is aerospace and VTOL assets. There's, aerospace fighters that have the fusion engine and just as much firepower as a battle mech, but they fight in either the vacuum of space or within the atmosphere. That would be cool.
Warning. Armor low.
A dogfighting game in this setting would be a lot of fun, in my opinion. And almost every planet, whatever house or state it's from, their planetary defense forces, which are usually separate from the full-on main house forces, almost all of them have elements and units of atmospheric fighters for home defense. Some of which have been around for hundreds of years. So you could probably, potentially, realistically, somewhere in the BattleTech universe, find a formation that's still flying an A-10. Because, it's basically got an Ultra AC-2 as its weapon.
Engaging target.
From what I remember, most of the atmospheric fighters actually have hard points on them and everything for carrying weapons, just like what they do now with guided missiles and rocket pods and bombs.
Waiting on you, Commander.
They're not the same type of weapons as you'd see on a battle mech or a heavy tank or something. Or an aerospace fighter, for that matter. Atmospheric fighters are a different ball game
Firing
entirely.
everything I've got. Did you see that?
And then as you get into the later time periods, you have even more fun stuff with the non-mech assets, because you start getting into VTOLs like the Yellow Jacket, which is basically an Apache with a Gauss rifle. So imagine seeing a helicopter coming streaking across
Ready
the
for
ground at
orders.
100 kilometers an hour and then swoop around and put a Gauss
Moving
rifle
out.
round in the back of your head.
Firing. Enemy
Most of that
vehicle
stuff is very
destroyed.
fragile in the setting, but some of it is capable of doing a lot of damage, and it usually moves really fast.
Waiting for
Come on,
orders.
can we get through this already?
Moving to position.
This is another one of those missions where it feels like they just decided we need to pad out the missions. Let's give them one, or pad out the campaign. So let's give them a mission with a whole bunch of stuff to shoot for. Because this really feels like once the turrets get back online, you're not even needed. They should be able to handle what's left. All of those turrets should be able to handle 2 or 3 mechs in an APC. Even not taking into account the firepower those 2 dropships ought to have. In fact, I'm curious. While we're doing this, let me look it up here. Assuming those are Union class dropships, I'm going to look and see what they should have for firepower.
Waiting for orders.
Yeah, assuming those are Unions, as they do look a lot like them. They might not be being the periphery, but they look like a Union. It's a 3,600-ton dropship, 81.5 meters wide, 78 meters tall, with 3 PPCs, 6 AC-5s, 6 LRM-20s, 12 medium lasers, and 5 large lasers. And
Orders.
armor. How much armor does it have? Yeah, a lot. I won't even
Engaging
bother
junction.
converting because it goes in points, but yeah, lots of armor. So yeah, that thing is carrying, one of those is carrying about 3 times as much firepower as my entire lance if they were armed the way they should be. Yeah, this mission is stupid. The same with that other. Although that one, well, the other way around, that one we shouldn't have been able to attack because they had the 2 or 3 drop ships on the ground at the spaceport we were attacking, so they should have been able to just vaporize us as soon as we got into range. But whatever. It's a game based in a fictional universe, so don't take it too seriously. It's just stuff like that that ignores the set fluff and universe to make the game quote-unquote more interesting. Annoys me.
Good.
But then again, much annoys me.
Yeah, critical hit.
Like that watermark that keeps popping up.
Full throttle.
Yeah, for this one I had the AC-10, that's right.
Good to go. Moving to position. Affirmative.
When I'm playing with the mechs I play with in tabletop, I try to keep them as standard weapon loadouts, because I find it more fun that way. But I don't use assault mechs in tabletop, so I kind of play around with these ones, with the exception of the Highlander. That one's pretty much optimized the way it is. The Stalker, I always just turn into a giant catapult, basically. I just put all the missiles on
Roger
it.
that.
Basically, every time Decker fires, it's basically just that meme of the cartoon from the
One
80s.
left
I'll see if
target.
I can put it over the video here so you see what I mean when I do the final rendering.
Mission successful.
Alright, now we're finally getting into the final, actually campaign important one here. And yep, as I said, we haven't had any of the glitches with this program. other than that one where all of a sudden it lost resolution, which I think is more an issue with my computer. I don't think that's quite the program's issue. I think that's the computer I'm running it on's issue. See, if this was really BattleTech, when she says, I consider you a valuable ally, but remember your place, that's when you just pull out the gun and go, you're the only one on this ship that's not a part of my crew, so blam! Alright, let's go find another contract. Alright, now we're getting into what bugs me about the setup of this. This is the most moronic part of this game. Alright, so we have to go to this planet and recover him and get this information. And as we're finding out here, I'll let it talk and then I'll continue, because I don't want to get ahead of what it's going to say and all that. Yeah. Alright, so even with the relatively lower tech of the inner sphere in this time period, as you find out at the end of this, and I'm not really spoiling anything because it just works, it's very predictable with how this has gone, what you're recovering are files with incriminating evidence. Literally digital files. You mean to tell me we have to send in a dropship, drop a lance of assault mechs, fight our way through all these defenses, get on top of a mountain, as you will see, sit there for several turns to recover a thumb drive? How idiotic are the writers of this? How desperate were they to have some reason to put tension to move this forward? That is the dumbest thing I have ever heard in this setting, aside from the word of Blake Jihad. So, I'm sorry, HBS. I love the rest of this game. This portion of the campaign is window-lickingly stupid. This is the dumbest shit I have ever seen in this setting. Literally, you could have gone over in orbit and picked up a tight beam broadcast, which exists in all the fluff of this for transferring sensitive information. It would have taken you a 2-second flyover and left again.
Target destroyed.
Instead, you're sending the figurehead of your restoration with three mechs in support to fight this, to try to rescue her hipster boyfriend, who we're supposed to care about and launch a rescue effort for, when he is literally nothing more to us than the guy who stands in the background at briefings stroking her ego. He is nothing to us. Why would we give a shit that this guy is on a planet and has been captured? Good. Less people we have to feed on the ship. Let him go. This is just dumb. This should either not exist or be something that you have an alternative of something to do. Because no mercenary in the middle of a war with any sense would sign on for this and go along with this idiotic mission. This is nothing but a pointless contrivance and set up to try to give tension and sympathy to something that does not deserve it, has not earned it,
On my way.
and even after this doesn't get it. I'm sorry. Even after this, I still do not give a shit about that character. Honestly, I don't give a shit about Kamea. Once we're done with this main campaign, I never go back to the Arano area. Unless I'm transiting through to somewhere else, I never do anything in that part of space again. It is the most boring, uninteresting part of this setting. Once you're done with it, you don't care anymore. So why are you trying to make us invested in this storyline? We're mercenaries. This is our contract. We're fulfilling the contract. When the contract is done, we move on. And nobody, I don't care who you are, is going to look at your employer and go, yeah, this makes sense. Let's drop our most valuable asset with our most expensive assets into the middle of a situation they do not need to be in to save your hipster boyfriend.
Multiple targets.
No. No, this would not happen. This is the only part of this game that I will call out as being 100% head-scratchingly stupid.
Yes, Commander. I copy. I copy. One left.
Also, as I said, one of the earlier videos I mentioned, there was a much later video that, mission that has changed from how it used to be.
I'll do what you ask.
This one, the setup for the mission, the reasoning for it, has always been there, as idiotic as it might be. But the direction where you're coming around this road now and headed up there to where there's supposedly a vehicle, even though you can see it's not there, you actually started on the other side of the map, came over that hill and down this road the other way to ambush the convoy that was supposedly carrying him before it could extract. For some reason, they decided to literally flip it 180 degrees and have you be the one that's approaching the extract point and being ambushed instead of the other way around. Which just makes it even dumber, because you can literally, as I said, see from where you are that what you're supposed to be going for is not there. So why are you still doing it? You're at the top of a 12-meter tall war machine. You can look over there and look on your sensors and say, this thing we're supposed to be going for isn't there. Abort mission. We don't need to be here. This is a trap. But no.
On my way. Reporting.
Yes,
Vehicle
secure that
destroyed.
site where we can plainly see there is nothing there.
Receiving you.
And if you think, oh, this is what they were talking about, where you have to go to extract the information, the grandfather's tomb or whatever they were talking about, no, this is not it. And she knows this is not it, so why are we doing this? Oh, because they had to put the little point in there to advance the story, so that when you get everybody there and it completes that portion, it then triggers the next portion. Because that's right, computer coding.
Confirmed.
Oh, look, the Saturday morning villainess is back.
I've got something.
New sensor contacts. I've got hostile units converging.
She's another one I see on forums and on Facebook and stuff. Some of the people that play this game absolutely love her character, and I don't get why.
You should have come yourself.
When I send you to hell, be sure to tell Lord Carosas that.
Accelerating to maximum speed.
Ah, sway back.
Reporting minimal damage.
For the moment. You get hurt. Not that I care. If she's in the hospital, she's not doing something stupid.
Full throttle.
Yes, I'm trying to flank with an Atlas. Deal with it. The three of them have more than enough firepower to handle this stuff.
I'm taking serious damage.
Yeah, well, you shouldn't be down here in the first place, so go ahead and take some damage.
Minimal damage on that hit.
Stop thinking about that hipster dick and fight.
You have my attention. I'm on it.
No, you're not, because you can't shoot for shit.
Good to go.
So all those weapons she aimed center torso. It doesn't look like any of them hit the center torso. And some of them missed the mech completely. And she's at that distance. Man, she is useless. I think one Gauss rifle and LRM 20 from the Highlander did more damage than her entire Alpha Strike from an Atlas did.
I copy.
Damn, I was hoping that would finish off that SRM carrier.
The directorate must fall.
What do I got over there? A Panther. Yeah. And a trebuchet. Yeah, as I said, how this mission used to be, you're coming in from where those mechs were coming in from, and all the opposition is on this side. I don't know why they felt the need to change it.
Armor breach. Internal damage.
Okay, that Hunchback, I think, did more damage to you with an Alpha Strike, despite being outweighed by like 50 tons, than you did to him with yours. That's... God.
I copy.
I really wish there was an option in this when she insists to go along. You could just tell her no and walk away.
Multiple enemies locked in.
If you're wondering why I'm not firing at the Hunchback has already done its move for this turn. Those two haven't, so I'm trying to take them out before they can do more damage.
Standing by. I'm on my way. Going hand to hand. Inflicting heavy damage.
So your
Receiving you.
foot was more effective than all those weapons you're carrying.
Aye, aye. Roger that.
20's on the trench bucket, 10's on the Hunchback. Nice.
Tango down.
So the Trebuchet is knocked down, the Hunchback is knocked out. That leaves the Panther, the Trebuchet when it stands back up, and whatever else this is over here. I think maybe it's a Wolverine, if I remember right. you know,
is
once you
losing
take them
internal
out,
structure.
cue the Billy Mays voice. But wait, there's more. My mouse is being stupid again.
Full throttle.
How much time we got left in this? Oh, we still got about 20 more minutes. But that's including the post-mission briefing and everything, so.
Tell me what you need.
I really wish it wasn't plot necessary that she survives any of these missions. I'd just walk her out and let her get killed and get on with my day.
Target eliminated.
Right. There's the trebuchet down, and there's her stronger side toward
Ready for orders.
them, should they just get more shots in on her.
Copy that.
Yeah, Wolverine.
Roger that. Solid connection on that one.
Ready for orders. Roger that. Got it.
Okay, so that was one blocking force already, and then a lance and a half of ambushers because it was 5 mechs in a vehicle.
I'm taking heavy damage.
1 mech left to take out in this group. And yes, I said this group because there's so much more to go.
Engaging target.
And he's down to just an SRM-4 left, so he's pretty much useless.
Enemy mech.
But
Critical damage detected.
Yes, I hear you. Acknowledged. I'm moving. I'll make it happen.
she still can't kill a light mech with an alpha strike. My God.
On it.
The first missile that hit finished him off.
Enough of these
So a
games,
couple of
Kamea.
weapons from my
Do you
Atlas
want
pretty
to
much
win
half
Uncle
killed
Alec's
him.
back?
Her alpha strike from her Atlas couldn't finish it off, and it's only a 30-ton mech. I had to finish it off with my missile boat.
I'm sorry, Kamea. I evaded capture for as long as I could, but... That sound you just heard was his jaw, Kamea. It was every bit as fragile as I thought it would be. Consider this a promise kept from our first reunion.
I'm coming for you, Victoria. Do you hear me?
Communication terminated.
Thank God. So here's another lance of mechs coming in.
Full throttle.
Good to go. I copy.
Which is what I think a Kentaro, and I think 3 fire starters. So dangerous, but not necessarily hard to kill.
Waiting for orders. Confirmed.
Oh, headshot.
Target.
What are you cheering for? You didn't do it.
Reading you loud and clear.
About all you've contributed to this mission so far is being a missile sponge. Fire starters, fire starters, fire starters. And if you'll notice, we still haven't got the objective to actually secure the information we're there to get, is how stupidly drawn out this mission is. We've killed 3 lances of equipment so far, with another one to go here, and we still haven't been given the actual objective that we're here for as an objective. It's just dumb.
Engaging target. Enemy mech. Critical damage detected.
Waiting for orders.
From here going forward, the rest of the campaign missions I don't really have an issue with. It's just this one is... Ugh. It's too long, it's unnecessary, it's badly written, it's pointless.
Roger. Inflicted some heavy damage.
Standing by.
It's literally nothing but a chance to have your mechs get damaged and have to spend money on repairs and get some more XP for your pilots. That's really all this
Splitting
mission is.
fire. Think I hit something good.
Yeah, you knocked down 2 mechs, not bad. Of course, 30 LRMs each into already damaged light mechs will do that to you.
Position confirmed.
Standing by. I'm moving out.
He's just beyond the line of the other ones, so split the firepower and let's see what happens. 1 down. Two down. Wow, she actually contributed something.
Hostile unit down.
Oh, she finally realized we're actually here for a reason.
Every fiber of my being
Took her long
is
enough.
screaming at me to not abandon Lord Madeira. To drop everything and rescue you. As I know
Every
you
fiber of my
rescued me.
being is telling me to leave you here,
I'm
but,
leaving
you know,
him.
we all have to
I
do things we
betrayed
don't want to
myself.
do.
It's the right call. And it's what he wanted you to do. For your people.
Alexander.
He'll live. Have faith in that. And press on. It's the only thing.
And if he doesn't, just go to Starbucks and find another hipster. Just sit there and pretend to be working on a novel, they'll swarm to you.
Enemy mech. Critical damage detected.
Orders. Position confirmed. Taking the shot.
Follow me to victory.
Like, as I said, it expects you to be concerned with his fate and to care about him. As long as he's supposedly been a member of the crew,
Tell me what you
I
need.
could tell you nothing about him other than he knows Kamea, because I don't care. Maybe you can go talk to him somewhere like you can with the other crew members. I don't know. I've never bothered trying.
Commander,
I care as much about his fate as the kid that bagged my groceries the other day. I do not give a shit.
Receiving you.
Actually, I probably care more about the kid who bagged my groceries because he's actually working for a living.
I'll make it happen.
Oh, look! Another lance or two of mechs and vehicles to destroy.
Not bad, cousin.
Ay.
But I am not finished with you yet.
Full throttle.
Oh, nice, a Black Knight. That's one, especially if I can get the Star League version of it. I don't use it in tabletop because it's extremely rare in BattleTech in this time period, so I can't justify having one in my tabletop lance for this era. But in the game, if you can get your hands on it, I love it. It's such a good mech. It's entirely energy-based, pretty good armor,
Copy that.
pretty accurate, moves pretty well. Very, very good all-around heavy mech.
Copy that.
And then once you get into the 3050s, the Clanbuster version of it has all that weaponry and carries a sword. Because, you know, it's the Black Knight. It needs to carry a sword. And yes, I appreciate the irony of me running a unit called the Black Knights, and I can't justify having a mech called the Black Knight, but it is what it is.
Confirmed. Acknowledged.
I'm listening. Location confirmed.
If you want to know more about the Black Knight, Big Red 40K has a very good lore video on it and its background, both in game, in universe that is, and as a game asset for playing the tabletop and stuff. He's got a pretty good video on it.
Engaging target.
His one on the Highlander is pretty good too.
Enemy mech.
You can find him,
Critical damage
just look for
detected.
Big Red 40K on YouTube.
Damage minimal.
Alright, only about 10 minutes left.
Orders. Here we go.
Ow.
Warning. Armor low.
What's up, boss? Engaging multiple targets.
Yes, I hear you. Copy that. Engaging hostile.
Oh, come on. Die already. I think when they set this up, they were figuring it was going to be a, frantic, hard-fought battle. It's just monotonous. It's not even hard-fought. Not that it's not dangerous and you can't lose shit. It just does not feel like a hard-fought battle. It's just, you finish a wave, here's another wave. You finish that wave, here's another wave. You finish that wave, here's another wave and an objective. You finish that wave, complete the objective. Mission's done. Okay. Yeah, thank you. That was fulfilling.
Warning. Armor low.
You have my attention. I'll do what you ask.
I mean, this mission's probably supposed to be an emotional low point for the characters or something, but it's just a game low point as far as enjoyability goes.
Commander? Acknowledged.
Go Black Knight down, that leaves just the...
We can
I think
salvage
it's
that.
2 Jenners up there.
Waiting for orders.
Moving around to try to see if I could get a line of sight there is all that was.
On it.
Warning. Armor breached. Internal damage.
Oh, is that a commando? Yep. Oh, they should be quick.
Engaging target.
Yep. Commando's a good scout mech,
Enemy
but
mech destroyed.
it's 20 tons. It's literally outweighed 5 to 1 by the Atlas. There's not a lot I can do there. So another thing that bugs me with the BattleTech community is it's gotten to be a meme, the Steiner Scout Lance and everything else being, 4 Atlases. And it ignores, it says right in the fluff and the books and all that, that the most ubiquitous scout mech in the entire Lyran Confederation, or Lyran Commonwealth, is the Commando. There's entire units made up of nothing but for scouting.
Engaging target. Enemy mech. Critical damage detected.
Yes, Commander. Affirmative. On it.
Here we go. Now I just gotta wait for it to finish, quote-unquote, downloading the information. Why it takes 2 turns with a battle mech standing in one place to download a 30-second video file is apparently what you're watching when at the end of this is beyond me, but whatever. There we go, we're done. Now it's
Mission
post-mission
successful.
briefing and we'll be done with this video. Then we can actually get back into the interesting, amusing, entertaining missions. And one that actually is hard fought. He's more courageous than either of us. Do you have any idea how many times he's rewritten his fanfic? I'm sorry, am I supposed to care? So yeah, all of that for this video that we're about to see in the, the weird hollow way they do things here. And that, I mean, yes, it's important to the plot. It's massively important to the plot, but all of that to get a 30-second video clip that could have literally just been emailed. I mean, if he could get a connection to send a video file of himself saying he was about to be captured, couldn't he have just emailed us this video file? So basically, cartoon supervillain is being told by cartoon Machiavellian supervillain that she has to go to possibly friendly third party and stage a war crime done by possibly hostile fourth party to bring possibly friendly third party into cartoon Machiavellian villain's plan to grow his kingdom and win his war. Yeah, it's ridiculously convoluted. But then again, there's a lot of that in BattleTech. But basically, the Perdition Massacre that they talked about before, which House Calderon and the Taurians believe was committed by the Davions and of the Federated Sons. Turns out he actually did it and tried to claim that the Davions did it, and yada yada yada. So, whatever. See, what I don't get is, and they try to explain it here, but why would the Federated Sons possibly attacking the Taurian Concordat cause the Taurians to become allied with this nothing state on their border that has nothing to do with either of them? So, yeah, whatever. Don't overthink it, it's a sci-fi world. Ranks right up there with Joss Whedon level plot building. Although, if this was written by Joss Whedon, at least it would have some amusing dialogue in it, I'll give it that. The man knows how to write characters and dialogue. It's his overarching plots that usually suck. There we go. All done. We'll be back for the next one later. That one will be much shorter, will also be more entertaining, and will finally be actually moving the plot to the end game. So, there we go. And have a good day. Thanks for watching.